Okay, so we go into shadow work. Shadows on the planet right now. I mean, the mask represents somebody who puts on, it was like if I came here and acted a certain way, it was like, oh my God, like, you know, doing this kind of act and telling you things and acting certain ways and keeping a mask on. A lot of humanity has been walking around with a mask, and the mask has been developed through, you know, years of conditioning and programming and trying to be a certain way and survive a certain way. And you know, when I say survive, I don't just mean hand to mouth. I mean survive emotionally, mentally. There's all kinds of survival schemes going on. And you know, that survival, that genetic survival energy is an outmoded, it's outdated. We're evolving. And right now, it seems like consciousness is here to win. So shadow work is another word that kind of it's like, just kind of feels like from the 70s or 80s. I don't know. It just feels like it's from shadow work. What is shadow work? Let me just see how I can express this today. You know, I guess in the end, it's all shadow work, because we want to awaken the truth. And what is the truth? It's the being a being of light. And I don't mean like, you know, some fancy story about that. I mean just the facts that we're energy, we're frequency beings. And all these emotions and all these feelings that we have, we are so much greater than that as an energy being. And that's what the ascension process, and the shadow work is where we start looking at stuff that's uncomfortable, and we start looking at our relationships and maybe the mirroring effect that's going on in our relationship, or how certain things can trigger us. And shadow ultimately are disowned parts of yourself. And so maybe an example would be, you know, like the mothers, the two sisters, and the mother says to the older, you know, the mother is saying, you know, oh, the younger one, she's the dancer, and, you know, and the older one, she's the doctor, you know. So the mother projects these images onto her daughters, and then the daughters, maybe they're that, maybe they're not, you know. And so maybe the older one's the dancer and she's getting a doctor, you know, the doctor in her. So then the shadow work is to be able to understand when we denounce ourselves from that which we know what we are, you know, and we don't sacrifice that for the projection of another, or we don't lose ourselves in the projection of another. But oftentimes we do lose ourselves, and that's the journey of life. So getting yourself back is doing the shadow work. And oftentimes the shadow will reveal itself in these darker frequencies, lower frequencies of like grief and fear and sadness, hatred, rage. These are all these are like our allies, these energies. So to do shadow work is a great partner to developing your awareness, because you need to become aware that these aren't bad. They're very misunderstood, these energies. But for example, like if you're feeling hatred, chances are what you're really experiencing is your boundaries that have been violated. And, you know, you need to find out why they're violated. And it's most likely because you had, you know, signed some unconscious contract somewhere along the way saying that, you know, I will do this in order to do this and get that and this and that. Or I will, you know, anyway, you get, that's what you get to do, is you get to find out what contracts you're making, or, you know, what beliefs you're believing about yourself and about who you are. So that hatred becomes an ally to come and warn you about, you know, your devastated boundaries, so that you don't go further into that. Someone maybe trying to do this false transcendent would feel the hatred and then all of a sudden say to themselves, oh no, I need to feel love. And,
right.
You know, more power to you. If you can channel that hatred into love, you know, I'll study with you. I tend to just like energy to be what it is,
Hmm.
and to discover where it's going on its own. It's kind of an autonomous I don't know, like, so that way I can witness, I can trust that the energy will be guided by a deeper, my higher self, my deeper wisdom. And and because it's only the mind who wants things to get to the heart, it's that
Uh,
to me, that's
yeah, you
force.
brought up awareness at the very beginning here. So,
Awareness. So yeah, so awareness is something that needs to be established, and it takes time,
hmm.
and it's always available to you. It's never not there. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, um, on a roller coaster, or you're having a conversation at a coffee store. It's your awareness is always with you. And so the more you pay attention to it and give it space to be a part of your experience, it opens up doors that are more akin to what we're calling the 5D.